Airlines can deny passengers from boarding their flight for any reason at all, whether you agree with that reason or not. It's really up to the gate agent that happens to be on duty on the day that you're traveling to decide whether or not you're getting on the plane. In today's video, I'll be covering 5 common reasons that you may be denied from boarding your flight despite having already made it through security, having a fully paid ticket, and having all of your documents in check. These reasons may apply to you, especially the last one, which is extremely common, so I'll definitely cover a few hacks and tips to help you avoid it or get out of the situation should you find yourself in it. The first reason that you may be denied boarding is for breaking the airline's dress code. When you purchase your flight, you're entering into an agreement with the airline, and most, if not all, of them have some sort of dress code. Common reasons that you would be denied boarding would be for having bare feet, wearing a crop top, or having clothing that has derogatory or offensive content or graphics on it. You can find the guidelines specific to the airline that you're flying with on their website, but sometimes it's really just up to the agent that happens to be on duty at the time. Back in 2017, a woman was denied from boarding for wearing leggings, and 2 years ago, another woman had to cover up with a blanket in order to board her flight because she was wearing a sleeveless romper. Know what you can or can't wear, and then when in doubt, don't take any chances. The way you smell could also lead to denied boarding. This is one of those points that you might think there is no way this would ever apply to me, but I bet that's what the mother and son duo that I saw get put to the side on a flight leaving from Atlanta. As I got closer to the gate agent, all I could smell was this overwhelming, overpowering scent of cologne. And what happened is the boy had gone into the duty-free store where they have all of the cologne samples on display. He sprayed himself down with every bottle, and therefore the two of them were not able to get onto the flight. So being aware of the way you smell doesn't just apply to you if you've been backpacking for weeks and haven't had a shower, but also in regards to the perfumes or colognes that you may be wearing. Another reason that you may be denied from getting on the plane is if the gate agent determines that you are too drunk, high, or impaired in any possible way where you may disrupt or harm the staff, other passengers, or even yourself. Like with the last point about smell, you may think this is a situation that would never apply to you, but being impaired can also count as being sick. It's really up to the agent to decide whether you are fit to fly or not. If you know that what you have is not contagious, maybe it's food poisoning or allergies, I would say take your medication about 30 minutes prior to getting in this line to board the flight, and then muster as much strength as you can to appear as healthy as possible for the 2-second interaction before you board the plane. You may also be denied from boarding your flight if you check in for the flight too late or you arrive at the gate too late, as in too soon to boarding. They usually close boarding about 20 minutes before the flight is set to take off. I almost missed an evacuation flight out of Vietnam. I was checked in for the flight, but they were taking off early because everybody except me had already boarded. They were calling my name over the announcements, and I didn't realize I needed to switch terminals. Somehow I still made the flight, but it's extremely stressful. So I would recommend that you go directly to your gate and also know where exactly your gate is, because sometimes you do need to change terminals and it can be 20+ minutes of walking, or sometimes you even need to wait on a shuttle bus. The last reason has to be the most common reason that you may face extra fees or end up being denied from boarding the flight altogether. This would be for having overweight carry-on luggage. One way to avoid having overweight or oversized baggage is by swapping your physical books for either ebooks or audiobooks. Audiobooks while traveling are a personal favorite of mine because I find they really just make the time fly for while you're waiting to board the plane. I also find that once I'm on the plane, listening to an audiobook helps calm my nerves. I've taken over 100 flights and still get anxious on each and every one. It's quite a nice distraction to be learning something or listening to a story. I'm excited to have partnered with Chirp Audiobooks on this video so I can share with you some of the incredible limited time discounts that they have on their site. There are hundreds of audiobooks to pick from on Chirp, some of which are up to 95% off. And the way Chirp works is it's not on a subscription or a membership. You pay for the book, you have the book forever. I often end up listening to either business books or self-improvement books so I can be learning something while also multitasking, even if it's just walking around the airport. If you're into these books as well, I highly recommend Atomic Habits. This book was truly life-changing and it's no wonder it has so many rave reviews. I'd love to know what type of books or audiobooks you enjoy most, and then also if you have any good recommendations, definitely leave them in the comments. Another one that I saw on their discount page was Alone in the Wild. I love a good mystery, and given the discounted price, even if I don't like it, I don't feel like it's going to be too much of a financial hit. Whether you love audiobooks like me or just want to give one a try, you can get 50% off your first purchase from Chirp using my code PortableProfessional50. I'll leave it for you with the link down in the description. Whether it's from too many books or a plethora of other reasons, having overweight carry-on luggage is a common problem that most frequent travelers have faced at one point or another. This usually leads to having to pay extra fees to check your luggage, or sometimes even means you can't get on the plane at all because they just don't have space. This is a situation that you definitely want to avoid, and one of the main ways to do that is by understanding what the airline is going to allow and not allow. If you go online, you should be able to find the exact dimensions, the weight, the size, and the number of items that you're allowed to bring with you on the plane. Often you're allowed to have one carry-on approved suitcase or backpack, and then also a personal item like a laptop case or a purse. I usually travel with a very full backpack and then a roll carry-on approved suitcase. I also tend to travel carry-on only, and since some of my trips end up being 3 months or more, that carry-on tends to be slightly overweight often. I'll make the decision on whether or not I will risk traveling with overweight luggage, often based on the airline that I'm traveling with. I found that budget airlines like Spirit, never fly with Spirit, Ryanair, Norwegian, WOW, and many of the other ones that go around Europe and Asia have a tendency to be very strict in weighing everyone's baggage and charging extra fees for any even minuscule amounts overweight. Since these airlines give such cheap tickets, I truly believe this is where they make their money. In addition to checking the airline's website for their rules, it would also be wise to invest in a luggage scale. This way you can weigh your bag prior to leaving for the airport. Once you arrive at the airport, you can often find they're like metal bins where you can see if your bag fits in it, and if it fits in it, it's compliant, and if it doesn't fit, it's not. So if they have those, you can verify by double checking your suitcase at the airport. But by then it's kind of too late to change it. If you do get flagged for having overweight or oversized carry-on luggage, I would say look at what the fee they're charging you is and consider if there are items you can remove and throw away or leave behind or give away that may make more sense than paying the fee. I once made the decision to throw away a very old pair of hiking boots as well as this heavy decorative pot, I'm not even sure what it was, from Guatemala to avoid paying a $75 fee to upgrade my carry-on luggage limit. Another trick would be to load your heaviest, bulkiest items in the backpack on your back. It's often that they'll be weighing your carry-on rolling suitcase, but they don't usually ask you to take your backpack off to have it weighed. Also, by acting like it's not ridiculously heavy, that's going to help you as well. If one of your bags is overweight and the other isn't, something else you can do is just move to the side and redistribute the weight among your bags. You could also load yourself up with clothing, a towel around your neck, fill your pockets with items, whatever it is you can possibly do to get items on you and out of your bags to board the plane, so the weight in those is going to be less. And one other hack is to bring with you a takeout bag. and then fill the bag with other belongings. Unlike when you're going through security, there's no liquid limit or restrictions on the food that you can or can't bring onto the airplane. So anything that's been purchased once you're past the security should be fine. So this means you could often have a backpack, a rolling carry-on, and a takeout bag without it counting towards your carry-on limit. The best thing that you can do before your flight is to educate yourself on what's allowed and not allowed with the specific airline that you are flying with. If you are new to flying, definitely don't let this be something to scare you. 99.999% of the agents are very reasonable and you should not have a problem. Please don't forget to hit the like button before clicking off this video, and if you've made it this far and you have not yet subscribed, do that, as I would love to have you join us back here for another travel video soon. Thanks for watching and safe travels. Bye.